Greetings YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about the Princeton Tec Amp 1L, and it says 45 lumens, 72 hours, max bright LED. I don't know if max bright is some term they use or not. 100 meter water resistance, and it has a bottle opener because apparently gear must have bottle openers. I don't understand the fascination with gear that has bottle openers. And it says that it has a shine distance of over 50 meters, so that's kind of nice. So here we have the flashlight in question, and there in fact is the bottle opener. These two here I think are probably used as case. There's probably what's holding the case together, but they also act as support when you grab the cap to pop the cap off. And at least it's not obnoxious. It's not huge in anything, and it would be very effective because it's got a nice. It's going to grab that cap quite readily. So what do you get? You get a plastic flashlight, and this yellow here is a very hard plastic. Well, this black stuff is more of a rubberized plastic, and that's quite nice. And this out here is even softer. This is actual rubber, so it's good in case you have you're going to have a drop from a handheld height. You're not going to have to worry about that breaking. Single LED, really nice reflective bezel in there. It's quite pleasant. And I think this wall in there is just part of the manufacturing. I'm not sure if it has any other feature. Like this is just the way they molded it. But obviously, quite big enough to get any kind of cord or carabiner you want through there. You can click this onto a proper carabiner without any difficulty. And you turn the flashlight on, and it is very bright. They are correct. It is in fact 45 lumens. I've used this to go around the house in the dark, and it provides a lot of illumination, and you could very easily hang this from the inside of a tent to illuminate the entire inside of the tent with ease. I think this is probably one of the best overall camp and outdoorsy flashlights I've encountered. And the reason I say this, it's incredibly light, it's small, it has a lot of light, actually, while I'm here, what does this thing use again? This thing uses 2 AA's. Well, no, so 2 AA's. So that is that's a great feature. Sorry, just a whole lot easier to put this back together. I don't have it in front of the camera. A great feature because it means that you're going to be able to have access to batteries readily available. Nope, I put that back in. I put it back in backwards. Live and learn. AAA's are readily available, so you can carry extras with you, and you're not going to have to worry about. There we go. Not have to worry about having access to batteries. But because this thing is designed for diving, 100 meters, man, 100 meters is 300 feet. Which means you're going to be able to take this anywhere, any place you go. You're kayaking, you're paddleboarding, you're canoeing, you're on a boat, fishing. Anywhere you are around water. If you're camping, you're never going to have to worry about the rain or the snow. None of that. Moisture is not going to be an issue for you. And this thing is so light, I think that you could quite easily attach it to a piece of paracord or even a flexible piece of cord and wear it around your wrist. For low levels of activity. Obviously not when you're like climbing or something like that, but if you're just hiking or something, you could have this dangling off your wrist without any difficulty. You are never going to have to worry about having a flashlight on you. Hook up a carabiner, hang this off your vest, off your pack. And you're never going to notice this thing. It's always going to be there, and particularly if you had it on a pack, pointing at the ground while you're walking, it's hands-free. I mean, yeah, it's not a headlamp, but it's hand-free. And then something else I noticed is that you can take this, because of this shape, see that sculpted out? If you mouth this, yes, if you actually grab this with your lips, you can hold this quite easily. I've done it. And it's Very easy to do. I have this habit where I tend to use my mouth as a third hand. I always have done it. It has unfortunately been something I shouldn't do, because not long ago I grabbed a bit on something, on a tool, and pulled the bit out of the tool with my teeth and chipped my tooth. Shouldn't do that. But the Amp 1L is just a really nice piece of gear. It's too big for me to carry on my keychain, but if I were going to go out in any kind of weather, if I were going to do any kind of hiking where it wasn't just, you know, like under 5 miles in the forest just on a trail, I would take this with me. No questions asked. Because this light is going to be there when I need it, provide me the light I need. It's going to run for 72 hours on two batteries, and if I bring 2 more with me, how many times am I going to be out in the woods more than 6 days? And you're not using it 24/7. You know, so you're covered for a week or more of camping with just even 1 set of batteries or 2. So an excellent product, nice coloration. I think this is also available in blue. But if I figured you're going to have a piece of kit you're going to be using in the outdoors, having it a bright, unnatural color is the best choice, because it is going to be so much easier to find in the dark or dim lighting. It's so much easier to find if you drop it in a forest floor. And if you hook this up to a float, you're not going to have any difficulty finding in the water either, because it is going to be heavy enough to sink on its own. But you can make floats quite easily. Shoot, I don't have my float in here. I had a float in here the other day. I made a float out of a piece of pool noodle. Those big pieces of foam noodles that people play with in pools. Cut a section of it off, hook up a piece of paracord or something, and you've got an instant float. And those pool noodles cost for like $2, and you can make 2 dozen floats out of one of those things, you know what I mean? Or a dozen floats easy out of one of those pieces of tubing. So you can make a very low tech float for almost no money. My wife uses it when she goes kayaking with a camera, so she doesn't lose the camera. Because even a section of the noodle, only about 4 inches or so long, is enough to provide enough flotation to keep our camera, which I am currently using, from sinking into the ocean. So the AMP or AMP 1L from Princeton Tec is definitely something I highly recommend.